so shall it be. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Balagun. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure having you here with us this evening. It's certainly the first time we are being hosted in the Wheat Baker Hotel, and we are indeed very grateful to the owners and the managers of the hotel for making the facilities available. And we are very pleased to have with us Mr. Abimbola Ogunbanjo here with us this evening. I must apologize again that we have started a little later than we anticipated. There were various technical challenges and weather-related challenges. But it's a delight being here with you and having you here. So, Wagwan, Jamaicans. How you feeling? Angry. That's the right response. All right. I know that in addition to us being here, this gathering today is being held in a hybrid format because while we are here in Lagos, we are also online with Jamaicans across the entire continent of Africa, as well as Jamaicans in Jamaica. And so this is to be seen as a regional gathering, being held in hybrid form. But of course, we have the pleasure and the profound privilege of having our special guest here, who you'll hear from later, and he's none other than Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. And he has traveled all the way from Kingston to be here with us in Lagos. Can you give him a big round of applause, please? So, I will certainly be moving the program along, recognizing, as I said, that we have been slightly delayed. But I didn't want to lose the opportunity to greet those who are online. In fact, I know people are all over the continent. And I'm mindful that my colleague, the new High Commissioner in Pretoria, South Africa, Her Excellency Joan Thomas Edwards. She just arrived yesterday, and I believe she's online. Joan, can you greet us? There she is. All right. So, there she is.
Welcome. It's such a privilege to be here, High Commissioner. Congratulations. Minister, good to have you on the continent.
The trade team is now division.
Thank you, Joan, and it's very good to see you. Welcome to the motherland. Can we hear from someone else? Is there anyone in Ghana, in Accra? Well, we can hear. As we go through the evening, we'll give others an opportunity to say a few words and just, to ensure that we're all plugged in. All right. So, without further ado, let me invite our host here at the Wheat Baker, Barrister Abimbola Ogunbanjo, just to say a few words of welcome to us. Please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You're very welcome, Senator Campbell, Minister of Foreign Affairs. I greet you, especially my brother, Ambassador Reid, Jamaicans, Nigerians in the diaspora. You're very welcome to the Wheat Baker. I think Ambassador Reid has asked me to make this special welcome because of the link this property has with Jamaica. As you probably know, this property was acquired in 1945 by the late Amos Shackelford, who had emigrated from Jamaica to Nigeria. He built this property when he was 37 years old, merely 37 years old. And it was an edifice by all standards. He didn't live here. He moved on to Ghana. Immediately he built it. And he then sold the property to the Moral Rearmament, a Swiss NGO. That Swiss NGO had a famous lawyer, or had a famous lawyer, who is still alive, who is my father, Chief Chris Ogobanjo. Chief Chris lawyered for MRA for several years. And then MRA decided to sell this property in a joint venture arrangement with myself and my sister, Ms. Mosu Ogobanjo, who is an architect. She was responsible for the design of this property, and it was actually designed as a 20-room guest house until a very famous investor, notable General Danjuma, came in and said, look, I want to partner with you, but 20 rooms is not the deal. I want 100 rooms. And Wheat Baker, what is that? What is Wheat Baker? I don't want Wheat Baker as a name. We said, General, what is the name you want? He says he wants La Reserve. And at that point in time, we're very desperate for an investor. And I told my sister, look, let's give General this thing and let's give him the name he wants. My sister said no, she's not going to accept that La Reserve. That Wheat Baker has a reason. Because late Amos Shackelford was very famous for being the founder of de facto bread. He used to bake his bread here, which was very famous at the time, and he supplied literally the whole of West Africa with that bread. And we wanted to remember and commemorate the late Amos Shackelford and decided to leave it as Wheat Baker. So my sister said, we're going to walk away. I said, we're going to walk away from a $25 million investment? He said, yes. So we left General. A week later, General calls us and says, okay. I'll leave it at Wheat Baker, no problem. But give me the opportunity to change it if Wheat Baker doesn't sound right to the public. And as God would have it, we opened the Wheat Baker, and the name has resonated throughout Nigeria, throughout Africa, ever since then. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Jamaicans in the diaspora, you are in the home of your brethren. Well, I'm sure Mr. Shackelford will be so delighted to have his forebears here in this property. And I want to wish you a particular great welcome to Nigeria, Foreign Minister. And I want to also wish you a very purposeful deliberation. And I do hope that whatever, all the discussions you have will be to the glory of late Amos Shackelford. You are welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barrister Ogunbanjo. We really very much, we are standing on the, what should I call it, the foundation of history. And this is indeed, this is why today is such an auspicious day. So let us continue. And now I'd like to invite Mrs. Lorna Opanubi, the president of the Nigerian West Indian Association, and she's also directly responsible for the sumptuous repast we're going to have afterwards. So, Mrs. Opanubi, please share some greetings with us. on behalf of your association.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, everyone. As all protocol observed, I think I've addressed you correctly already, so no need to go into that again. As I said, I am the current president of the Nigerian West Indian Association, soon to be the past president by next month. Welcome, everyone, and it's a good thing to be here tonight. It's really a good gathering, and we hope that we shall have good deliberation and a successful meeting this evening. I just want to give you a few hints about the Nigerian West Indian Association. We are now 45 years old in Nigeria. It started by a few ladies headed by one Mrs. Edna CJ. And it was primarily started to help those who are here to settle in their new environment, because they came in strange to a new land, didn't know where they were going or what to do. So they got together and decided that let's help one another the best way we could. And then they grew larger, and from there they started to say, well, let's help the society in which we live. And the name Nigerian West Indian Association came about and duly registered as a charitable organization. So we raised funds to help the less privileged. We gave out scholarships and various things to the old people's home, sickle cell club. We have donated booklets in various languages so that the individuals from different states, the local people, could understand what is actually happening to them when there's a crisis with their health. So we printed books and was given to sickle cell, and they in return give it out to people in various places. We also help St. John's Ambulance, many other places. We have done so much, actually. We also had one of the largest carnival. We brought West Indian Carnival to Nigeria, which was so big. And Easter Monday, streets of Lagos would be closed, leading down to Tafa Balewa Square, where we'll have the grand finale. And then we'll have a dance with glittery costume and large costumes. They still have carnival here in Calabar, but not in Lagos. The reason for that is that you can see, I'm an old woman, and most of us who used to arrange the carnival are my age and older. We have people who are living here over 50 years. Mrs. Mbono is an example. They came here long before we started the group, and they reside here. Grandma Beryl, Ima's mother, who is 90 plus now, you know, they are all our older sisters, and were also very actively involved in everything we did in the past. But now we're getting on, and we're inviting. I'm glad to see so many young faces here, and we are inviting you to please come on board and help us to make this association not to die, because at the moment we are very few and we cannot do it alone. So we need the young ones to come on board with us. So please remember that Auntie Lorna said so, and make sure we will send you messages and attend the meetings, please, and register as a member. Not just to attend the meetings, but please register as a member. Our fees are very small, and I can say it's only 10,000 naira. It's not much to ask for, okay? So we would like you to come on board with us and make this association grand again, as it used to be. And for us here in Nigeria, it's been an uphill and downhill task, especially with our passports. And our High Commissioner, I thank you very much, because since you came on board, you have been reaching out to us. I'm very happy and thankful to you for that. And we hope that we will have better relationship with our passport, because right now we find that even though we send the passport to Abuja, it still takes a long time before it departs Abuja to Jamaica. Because recently I sent mine in And I was surprised to know that 3 weeks later, it was still in Abuja, thinking that it was already in Jamaica and being processed. So we'd love you to please speed up that part of it for us. Okay? We'd happy to hear that our Minister of Trade is here, and we hope to have better relationships with Jamaica, that the Tourist Board will improve and come to life again, as it used to be. I mean, Jamaica was the #1 in those days when you talk about tourism. That beautiful island of ours, you know, we want it to come back. Bird of paradise, let it be there again. And everything sweet about Jamaica, let it come back again. So we will all be happy to say, sweet Jamaica, here we come. Thank you very much for having me. And I pray that all of us who are here will depart with happiness from what we're going to hear from our new minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Just to say that we'll have a short question and answer session later in the program, and we'll be able to respond to some of the burning questions that you may have, and any others, we'll deal with them, you know, in written form. All right, moving along, may I now invite Mrs. Sharice Ijawera, who is the immediate past president of the Niger Wives Association, to give us some brief greetings. Give her a big round of applause, please.
Very well. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Standing on all existing protocol, my name is Sharice Ijawere, and I am quite pleased to be here today, quite pleased to be in your presence. I am representing Niger Wives Association, Niger Wives Lagos, and we have been in existence for over 44 years. Niger Wives Lagos is a society of foreign women married to Nigerian men. And Niger Wives helps us with friendship, with sisterhood, with settling in the new culture. So greetings from Niger Wives, and we're quite pleased to be here today. Many of our Niger Wives are from the Caribbean, so we are spread all over Nigeria. A lot of us are from the Caribbean, married to Nigerian men. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. All right, we are very pleased to have with us Mr. Jermaine Sanwo-Olu, who is the Special Advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Foreign Matters and the Diaspora. And on hearing that we would be gathering here today, he decided that it would be important for him to come and share a brief welcome with us. And it is also in connection with another development which you'll also hear about very shortly. So, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, if you will come, please. A big round of applause for him as we move along. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Your Excellency, Senator Campbell, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and High Commissioner Ambassador Reid, I really welcome you. And the beautiful people of Jamaican descent in this room, I welcome you to the Center of Excellence, the City of Aquatic Splendor, the most beautiful city in the world, I would say. My Lagos, your Lagos, the city that never sleeps, the bustling Lasgidi culture, the 5th largest economy in Africa, the home of Nollywood, which you love so much, the home of Afrobeat, the startup capital of Africa. What more can I say? The place with the best food in the world. Lagos, my Lagos. It's very important, not just to me, Lagos, but also to you because of the historical precedents that we have with our brothers and sisters in Jamaica and also in the Caribbean islands. You go to the city of Badagry, and you hear of the history from the well of attenuation to the point of no return, you see and hear of the stories whereby at least 300 people were taken every single day, not being dignified to foreign lands. But there is good news now that those who might have left as in bondage are coming back as kings, as queens, as princes, as princesses, as dignified people with culture, as beautiful as the rising sun, fruitful with the color green of Jamaica. Anything you touch always blossoms. And also black, pole, very, very bold, very confident, faster than the lightning bolt. The Jamaican spirit is one that cannot be conquered by anything in this world. We celebrate you, and we celebrate our history with you. And we want to tell you that the governor of Lagos State, on whose behalf I bring these greetings, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is looking forward to reconnecting our past and looking forward to forge a great alliance in the future, Minister of Foreign Affairs. We want to ensure that we have a meeting. We planned on Lagos Diaspora Homecoming, and like they might have been done in Ghana, but also with Mrs. Agbola talking about Reconnect, the Diaspora Reconnect that is being planned in August. I know there's been some incidences in the past world, but I'm telling you, we are going to welcome you. This government is going to support you, whether you are from Kingston in Jamaica or any of the beautiful cities there. We are welcoming you back to this lovely place. I also know different cities like Port Antonio. Am I right? I'm Port Antonio, so I've done a bit of research. You know, and Montego Bay, right? Also, these are big cities. What did you say? Montego Bay. Okay, bless up, madam. So we're looking forward to that alliance. So you have family, you have friends, you have people in Jamaica who want to have a great experience in Lagos. I'm telling you, now is the time to come to Nigeria. Now is the time to come to Badagry. The governor has dedicated in his the last economic summit, the Ingbeti summit, that Badagry is going to be made as a diaspora destination. You can call it a Caribbean or a Jamaican destination, whereby you can come and you can have lands, you can have estates, you can reconnect with the roots, which have made you such great trees and plants that is radiating the glory of the black race all around the world. We want you to come back, and we're going to welcome you with arms wide opened. So this is the message we want you, as Minister of State, to take back to Jamaica, that the Lagos State government is ready for you. It's ready. Ghana might have done 1%. We are going to do 10,000%. Because once Lagos starts, nothing can stop us. So welcome to Lagos. We look forward to connecting. God bless you. And see you in Adamoro.
All right. Thank you so much. Wow. Feels like I should be heading to Badagry tomorrow. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanwo-Olu. We'll be taking you up on that invitation. And now let me invite the CEO of, we are moving along, the CEO of Nigerian Global Destinations, Ms. Elizabeth Agbola, to give us a highlight of an important activity which is in the works to assist in this whole process of connection. Is it you or is it Mr. Annie? Where is Mr. Annie? So, Mr. Annie Ekpat, who is the General Manager of Nigerian Global Destinations. But I see both of them, so they'll do the tag team and get us through this. All right.
I'll just speak very fast and just thank everybody for being here. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Every protocol observed. The website. Okay, as you all know, in December 2020, we had the first ever direct flight between Nigeria and Jamaica, which our company spearheaded. Not to say that we've not been able to do another one, mainly because of the challenges that tie connecting the journey. It's really expensive, and the demand is not balanced. Whilst we have a buzzing number, buzzing people ready to go experience the Caribbean culture. We don't have the same from the Caribbean side this way. And it's because of the lack of information, the lack of, promotions as well on that side. And that's why I'm very grateful that we get to the support of Lagos State to have our cousins, our relatives come home. And that is why we have the Motherland Reconnect event, which we have tied together with the flight starting from July. So I would leave this with the general manager because they're the ones that answer on the question, so it's better he explains.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Standing on existing protocol. So I'm here to talk about the charter flight. We had done this, like she said earlier, we had done this in December 2020. We are back and better. I remember when we went to Montego Bay in 2020, I know so many persons reached out to me when we went to Dr. Cave Beach, and so many questions came up. So why is there a flight coming in to Jamaica and not a flight, out of Jamaica coming to Nigeria? So we are back, we are here, we are back and better. We have a flight in July, ending of July, leaving Nigeria to Montego Bay, July 29th to 8th of August, precisely. And then the plane arrives Jamaica on the 29th, and the next day it picks up the Jamaicans and then bring them to Nigeria. They spend 8 days, and then they leave. And they arrive Jamaica, and then we leave Jamaica back to Nigeria. So this is what we have put in place. So we have planned to use a company from South Africa. There's a direct flight company in South Africa. So it's a Boeing 777, 299 capacity, 24 business. So just like the CEO said earlier, we want to incorporate this charter with great events on the Nigerian side and also on the Jamaican side. For the Nigerian side, we're going to have a 3-day event. Starts on the 4th of July to the 6th of July. The first event is going to be on trade. The second one is going to be Ancestral Festival in Badagry. So we take the Jamaicans, to Badagry to explore and then see a whole lot. And on the third day, there will be a welcome party. Of course, there's no party like the Lagos party. So for on the Jamaican side, also a 3-day event starts on the 31st of July to the 3rd of August. The first day is going to be on trade, second day on the culture, and then the last day, which is going to be marketplace. So please, can you put up the website, please, briefly? Okay. So for bookings, we have the website. It's entityglobalDestinations.com/leisurechartersng. So when you go on the website, you have every details. Okay, so these are the destinations. We have the Nigeria to Jamaica. We have the Jamaica to Nigeria, and also, apart from Jamaica, we do other charters to Brazil and to Cape Verde. So please can you click on the first one, the Nigeria to. Okay, so here you have this is the cost for the charter. So we have May, July, and then for December. So this we could not make because of the swearing in. So we had to move the trip to July. So for the economy ticket, we are looking at $3,150. and for the business class, $5,850. And sorry, I forgot to mention, the duration for this flight is just 11 hours. It's non-stop. We leave Lagos and arrive Montego Bay in 11 hours, compared to when you want to go through the US or UK, and so this is a much better option. So thank you. So this is the website, and also I have my team behind. If you have any question concerning the charter, you can always reach out to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm sure your appetites have been whetted. Is that the word? And I'm sure you will all be looking to reconnect, both Jamaicans and Nigerians, friends of Jamaica, friends of Nigeria, who want to have this once-in-a-lifetime experience, connecting our roots with our branches. I also wanted to highlight, as we're coming to the point now where we'll hear from Minister Campbell, but I also wanted, in the spirit of this reconnection that we're doing, that Barrister Ogunbanjo highlighted the story of Mr. Amos Shackelford. And you can read all about Mr. Shackelford and many other Jamaicans who have contributed to Nigeria's development in the very lovely book that is being displayed at the back, called One Love, and it's written by Miss Coco Kalango, who is here with us, looking very resplendent. A very big round of applause for Coco, who really dedicated herself to telling that story, well, the stories of those Jamaicans who have contributed, and some are still contributing and are reflected in that book. So you should certainly go and get hold of a copy of that and read about Mr. Shackelford and the others. There's also another book on display. The book is called Wings, Roots, and Branches, and that book was also written by Miss Elizabeth Agbola, and it tells the story of that initial charter flight that you heard about earlier from Lagos to Montego Bay in December 2020. And all the twists and turns that, were experienced in making that happen. Ms. Agbola, take a bow for having written that story. Both books really are very interesting and very important in this journey that we are on to connect the roots with the branches. All right, as I move along now, let me use the opportunity to introduce Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Jamaica. Minister Campbell is an attorney at law by training with almost 30 years of distinguished practice. Minister Campbell is a former Member of Parliament for North East St. Catherine. Anybody here from St. Catherine? There we are. So, a former constituent. Yes. And he was the former Member of Parliament from 2016 to 2020. And he previously served as a commissioner at the Anti-Dumping and Subsidies Commission in Jamaica, as well as many, many other public bodies. He's a distinguished public servant. He assumed duties as Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in September 2020. And one of his principal duties, his portfolio, he is the minister with responsibility for diaspora affairs. So he is the man responsible for those of us out here in the diaspora across the globe. So, without further ado, let me welcome Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell. A very, very big round. Lagosian, Nigerian, Jamaican, welcome. Round of applause. Minister, over to you.
Wow. If I appear to be wobbling, you know what caused that. They brought me a whole jug of palm wine last night. Well, thank you, High Commissioner Reid. And let me, Ambassador Thomas Edwards in South Africa, and I believe we have our colleague David Jarrett, who is in Namibia, who is the representative from the Commission on the continent. And Your Excellency, and all our special invited guests, my fellow Jamaicans, family members and friends of Jamaica, including those diasporans joining us online, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to follow Obama, you know, and talk about what go on Jamaica or what go on Nigeria. No. But I can talk like a Nigerian, you know. I tell you, I went to school with a lot of them, you know. I went to London school, and I met a lot of them there. But they gave me a problem. They took away all my girlfriends. So I have come back to Nigeria to reclaim them. Campbell, why do those West Indian girls not talk to me? Hey, what's the matter? Go and that one over there, Marcia. She lovely girl. She got lovely Izibunu. What is a Izibunu? Smarty tail. And I must confess, I had a wonderful day in your market today. It was part of the learning experience. When I came into Abuja, I said to High Commissioner Reid, that is the place that I go to in Kingston, the market, where real life goes on, where you can determine the prices, where you hear people swearing and carrying on and you think they're going to have a fight, but there's no fight going on. It's just our way of communicating. And believe me, when I walked in that market today, it was no different from Spanish Town Road or Coronation Market. It was just a wonderful experience with all the foods. But let me say, I want to get so much fabric from. I want to learn to print them. Well, it's just absolutely amazing. And I have about 4 plastic bags full of fabric and frock for all of the cousin them. None for the wife. Because I suspect she is living in Nigeria. Because I asked our dear friend there, where's Rachel? There she's down there. She was the one who was escorting me through the markets, and I said to her, which part of the wife shop there? Because I'm told I could get 4. 4. I could have 4 wives. And she said, you can choose one from the Igbo. And interestingly, this is one of the lessons I learned today. That when we're in Kingston, we say, when you're fairly fair skinned, and we used to say, go wear red Igbo. Red Igbo. And I thought that when I came here, I'd be seeing a group of people who I could identify readily and say, that one's from or there was a special mark or something of the sort. But yeah, I had to debunk that. No, that's not it. Well, I had other experiences, but I won't tell you about them. I'm delighted to join you, my fellow Jamaicans, for this regional diaspora town hall engagement, which is being held in hybrid format to allow for wide participation of diaspora members from across the African continent. I am deeply appreciative to each and every one that is present, whether in person or online, for taking the time to be with us this evening. No matter where you're from in the world, there is a comfort in knowing that there's a Jamaican, for me, that is, community present with each opportunity that I take up. I look forward to meeting and engaging with you on issues of mutual interest. I thank High Commissioner Reid and the team at the mission, as well as members of the diaspora in Lagos, who have joined together to make this event possible, and for the excellent arrangements that have been put in place. Yes, thanks to Mr. Amos Shackelford. Thank him when you see him. Well, my brothers and sisters, this is a greeting from perhaps, it might, I think the actual flying time is 11 hours, so we might be running into about 7,000 miles from here to Kingston. But I brought a special fragrance, but I think most of it was dispersed in Abuja. So, but if you feel a little warmth, special warmth, coming across the room, it is from Kingston. This visit, it marks my first official travel to the African continent, and my first, and certainly not last, engagement with the diaspora. The main purpose for my visit on this occasion was to participate in the inaugural Global Diaspora, African Diaspora Symposium held in Abuja over the last 2 days. I had the pleasure of delivering an address highlighting the historical and enduring similarities between the African continent and the Caribbean. For decades, both regions have sought to harness synergistic pursuits for development of our respective peoples, while recognizing the African diaspora, which we are part of, as the continent's sixth region. Steadily, Jamaica continues to be recognized as a leader in diaspora engagement, even as we, through our own national efforts, are striving to build greater connections with each of you, our diasporans, across the world. My fellow Jamaicans, the interconnectedness that exists between Jamaica and Africa is undeniable. Our ties are bonded in a shared historical and cultural legacy, which has continued to shape Jamaica and Africa's relations over the years. Ours is a shared trajectory grounded in a history of struggle and triumph, and which today manifests through increased cultural, economic, and political cooperation. Your growing presence across the continent is tangible manifestation of this. Even as Jamaica continues to deepen bilateral ties by the signing of various MOUs and cooperation agreements in areas such as sports, and don't think we are going to tell you what type of yam that they consume to make them run so fast. Interestingly, I saw and that comment has to do with Bolt's interview when he was asked, what is it that makes us run so fast? And we have a particular type of yam, which is yellow, and I didn't see it in your market, so you have this sort of long white run. So it may very well be, whatever ingredient it is, it rests in the yellow yam. But I'm not going to tell you which lab to go to have it extracted so you can give it to Mrs. Ogagbare and that lot, okay? Your growing presence as I indicated, across the continent is tangible manifestation of this, even as Jamaica continues to deepen bilateral ties by the signing of the various MOUs and the cooperation agreements. And these agreements span education, tourism, technology, scientific research, municipal cooperation, health, culture, entertainment, and of course, yes, you did send Bonaboy down to Kingston and burn up the place. And of course, he did promise to come and buy one of our properties. Yes, and I know what is going to happen after then. He's going to marry a Jamaican. I didn't say that just in case the war starts there, okay? Because I know what happens when, you know, men get really offended when they think that you're taking away their women. The continent has become home to so many of you, which fills me with immense joy. We are in fact in the land of our forefathers. Being able to meet with you in this fashion makes this seminal fact all the more special. Consistent among the Jamaican diaspora across the globe is a value that you continue to add through your various contributions to the socio-economic development of your adopted homes, even as your achievements have served to elevate the global profile of our homeland, Jamaica. I take great pride in stating that you represent the best of Jamaica and demonstrate that we as a people are constructive, visionary, and dynamic community builders. This brings me to a very important point that I want to use the opportunity to reiterate. Diaspora engagement has and continues to be a priority focus of the government of Jamaica. We recognize the irrefutable contributions that you, our diaspora, has made towards Jamaica's development and transformation over the decades. You have been one of our longest partners and most ardent supporter for nation building. In appreciation of this, the government of Jamaica has sought to create an enabling environment which fosters diaspora empowerment while promoting the welfare of the diaspora wherever they reside. This has been concretized in the National Diaspora Policy, which articulates the roadmap for the further strengthening and mainstreaming of diaspora engagement and provides a framework for further coordinated engagement. The attendant plan of action is close to being finalized and will set out how the policy will be implemented through further collaboration with you, our diaspora leaders, communities, and diasporans, ministries and departments and agencies of government. I encourage you to visit the ministry's website where you can access the policy online. My fellow Jamaicans, our High Commission in Abuja and in Pretoria and our Honorary Consul network across the continent form an integral part of the government's institutional connection with you. It is through our missions and our Honorary Consuls that we reach out to you, as well as receive information from you on matters of interest. Recognizing the need for even more inclusive and wider engagement, and to further foster structured dialogue, the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council were established in 2019 and have now entered the second three-year term, 2023 to 2025. The main objective of the councils is to support the implementation of the national diaspora policy goals. And they also serve as important mechanisms of engagement between the government of Jamaica and the diaspora at the policy level. The Youth Council is specifically focused on building affinity among second, third, and fourth generation Jamaicans, vital for the sustainability of the diaspora movement. The membership spans the globe, including representatives from North and South America, Africa, Asia and the Pacific, the Caribbean, Europe, and the Middle East. I'm pleased to formally acknowledge Mr. David Jarrett, Regional Member for Africa on the Council. Expansion of the number of regional seats for Africa is being given serious consideration with a view to more effective engagement across the full continental space. There are already several Jamaican diaspora organizations on the continent, and it is our hope that through renewed efforts at collaboration, the organizations can be re-energized to galvanize the population and have the desired impact. Fellow Jamaicans, as members of the diaspora, we want to hear from you. We are keen to learn of your experiences as diasporans living in Africa. This will assist us to shape a more effective approach for our engagement with you and strengthen our ability to provide support for your needs. Last year, as you may know, the government hosted our Jamaica 60 Biennial Diaspora Conference under the theme, Reigniting the Nation for Greatness. And that was done in hybrid format. Coming on the tail end of the devastating COVID-19 pandemic, that conference underscored the importance of sustained contacts and connections among diaspora community. We are proud to have hosted some of you in Jamaica and to have facilitated many more online. We are committed to maintaining the momentum of our diaspora engagement and have determined that in the intervening years of the conferences, we should meet you where you are through regional diaspora conferences. In this regard, regional diaspora conferences are being held across the global diaspora, in addition to the traditional staging in Canada, the UK, and the USA. It is historic and commendable that my first regional engagement for 2023 is in Africa. Jamaicans residing in Africa are encouraged to register with the nearest Jamaican High Commission, which makes it easier to be accounted for as may be necessary in cases of emergency. Protection of the interest and welfare of Jamaican nationals overseas through the network of overseas missions is one of the principal roles of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. I must publicly commend the enduring spirit of community which led to the establishment in 2022 of the Jamaica Welfare and Assistance Fund by the Jamaican High Commission in Pretoria through donations from the Jamaica diaspora raised in the main fundraising activities undertaken by the mission. The fund provides assistance for distressed Jamaican nationals and secures donations for children in South Africa, schools, and communities. The support of the government for this initiative underscores a belief that diaspora engagement is a mutual partnership. It is a tangible manifestation that Jamaicans resident in Africa can support development on the continent by forming effective organizations and engaging in planned activities towards this end. I must also use this opportunity to touch on a few other issues that I know are of equal concern to you. This includes the consular services the government of Jamaica provides to our diaspora. Please be assured that the ministry is constantly seeking to improve the delivery of its services to Jamaicans residing overseas. In this regard, in 2022, the government launched its Service of Excellence policy, by which it empowers its offices at home and here in the various diaspora communities to ensure that service provided to our nationals wherever they reside is of the highest standard. Our goal, therefore, is that you seek the services provided by the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, the Registrar General's Department, and the Accountant General's Department, among others, some of which are facilitated by the High Commission, that you are assured of the commitment of the government to attend to your needs. we are very mindful that there are numerous diasporans who continue to experience challenges, including processing of passport applications and citizenship requests. The ministry is in communication with PICA and with a view to having these issues addressed. The ministry has also sought to make the process for authenticating documents intended to be used overseas so much easier. To this end, since July 2021, the ministry has been issuing apostilles, which is the new acceptable global format recognized by more than 120 countries that are party to the Apostille Convention. It is also noteworthy that Jamaica has launched, that is in March 2023, an electronic passport, e-passport, which further safeguards the identities of Jamaicans and our travel documents. Jamaica therefore joins more than 150 countries that use e-passports that is in line with the emerging trends globally. Let me now turn quickly to developments and home, which I know is also of keen interest to many of you. On the matter of the economy, the Bank of Jamaica has projected a 4 to 5% growth for the March 2023 quarter. In a recent review by the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, that is, Jamaica was lauded for its management of the economy and noted a strong recovery trajectory. Similarly, tourism has rebounded to almost pre-pandemic levels, and full recovery could be realized by a year earlier than predicted. We can also report that the Jamaican dollar has stabilized and that the debt to GDP ratio is significantly reduced at its lowest in decades. The government has been keen to stabilize the economy, and these measures have now begun to bear fruit. I know some of you are interested in business prospects in your homeland. I assure you that Jamaica is and remains open for business. There are opportunities for investment in areas such as agribusiness and food processing, manufacturing, tourism and ecotourism, logistics, outsourcing, and more. I encourage you to connect with agencies such as the Jamaica Promotions Corporation, JAMPRO, whose latest offerings include a combination of both private sector and government-based projects targeting large and small investors alike, at values ranging from between US $80,000 to $800,000. You're well positioned to take advantage of these opportunities individually or pooling with business partners. The Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, and the Companies Office of Jamaica are all able to provide you with detailed information on the potential avenues for investment in Jamaica. You may visit the respective websites for more details. I take great pleasure in informing that Jamaica maintains one of the best stock markets in the world. The Jamaica Stock Exchange has over the years boasted a track record of growth. Again, you may start by visiting these websites for this particular website for further information. At the regional level, CARICOM has set a target of 25 by 25, seeking to reduce food imports by 25% by 2025. This presents significant opportunities in the agribusiness industry. Once again, I encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities. Though Jamaica is on a path to full economic recovery, the global economic environment remains highly uncertain. The world remains within the grasp of the COVID-19 virus, which has continued to present challenges at varying degrees across the world. In addition, the war in Ukraine continues to unfold, which has impacted drastically global food and energy supply chains. Therefore, As Jamaica continues apace towards national growth and development, we're also looking for new avenues to bolster our economic resilience. Technology plays a significant role in the activities undertaken in collaboration with the diaspora. Jamaica is very much advanced in transforming itself into a digital society, increasing efficiency and accessibility to various online services within the government from anywhere in the world. It is important that as I mentioned this to you, considering the vast geographic distance between Jamaica and the African continent. It is important that all Jamaicans, regardless of their location, have the opportunity to utilize various government services. The importance of the digital transformation thrust was underscored by the COVID-19 pandemic. At present, members of the diaspora may access a number of services online, such as the renewal of machine-readable passports for adults, children, and first-time applicants wishing to apply for a Jamaican passport are encouraged to route their application through the missions. All services offered by the Registrar General Department, such as applications for birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, geological research services, late entry of names and correction of error, the renewal of driver's licenses, the payment of motor vehicle fees, and the application for motor vehicle import licenses via the Tax Administration of Jamaica. I would also like to reiterate that in 2022, the government launched its Service Excellence Policy. The policy will serve to empower government offices in Jamaica, as well as in the various diaspora communities, to provide service of the highest standard to all Jamaicans wherever they reside. Concurrently, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade has been working with international and development partners to create digitized platforms for strengthened and wider engagement with the diaspora. As these projects progress, you, our diaspora, will be kept informed through our missions and brought on board to participate in their successful implementation. My fellow Jamaicans, you're aware that Jamaica continues to battle the volatile scourge of criminal ecosystem. However, let me assure you that the government of Jamaica is committed to reducing the crime problem and curbing displays of lawlessness. We are committed to providing a safe and secure country for families to live, raise families, and do business. Legislative reform has been undertaken for increased institutional and operational impact, including the amendment to the Firearm Act and an ongoing review for the amendment of the Fingerprints Act, the Bail Act, and the Unexplained Wealth Act. Breaches of the Firearm Act will incur penalties ranging from 15 years to life in prison. The Jamaica Constabulary Force reports that as of April 2023, 658 charges were laid against 353 persons for various offenses under the Act. Intelligence gathering has also become more effective, and the successful expansion of the Jamaica Eye surveillance system are key tools that have bolstered the operational capacity of the police. The government has also continued to prioritize social intervention in the efforts to address crime. Recently, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs signed a memorandum of understanding with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, under which we will seek to mobilize you, our diaspora, for more direct and cohesive engagement in the management of the crime problem at the local level. In closing, yes, I know you're all hungry. We didn't come here to listen to Minister Campbell. We came here for a good line. In closing, I would like to reiterate my gratitude to each of you for joining me here today It brings me great pleasure to be of service to you as minister with responsibility for diaspora affairs. As Jamaicans away from home, I encourage you to utilize the channels available to you to connect with Jamaica. I commend and further encourage your continued interest in your homeland, and that you will build on the connections you have made during today's engagement to further develop and create platforms for exchanges and effective networks among yourself. Critically, I look forward to our continued engagement, no matter the distance. You, our brothers and sisters, are as much the heartbeat and spirit of Jamaica as those of us who reside at home. I look forward to hearing your views at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Surely you can do better than that. A very, very big round of applause for our Minister of State. Indeed, I am sure he has given you quite a range of insights on not only what's happening in diaspora affairs, but also what's happening on the ground in Jamaica, new policy initiatives, and things which many of you, I'm sure, didn't know about. So thank you so much, Minister. And we certainly will make the text of his address available online and through the usual channels. So thank you. I want to go into the question and answer session. We have a number of roving mics which we will distribute across the room, and you know, as I said, if there are burning questions, then we will try to respond to them, myself and the minister. There are still many persons online, both within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in Jamaica. We have our network of honorary consuls across the continent in different locations in Ghana, in Uganda, in South Africa, in Tanzania. In fact, I wonder if Mr. Jarrett is still online. Perhaps he could quickly come on and just say hello, as he is the representative, as Minister highlighted, the representative for Africa on the National Diaspora Council. Mr. Jarrett, are you there? It's been a long evening, so, and I think there might be even ahead of us. But I encourage the different representatives who are online to indicate, you know, you can raise hand on the Zoom link and we will acknowledge you and you can highlight. And I believe High Commissioner Thomas Edwards would also want to highlight any immediate action she wants to take for her side of the continent. So let's then use the next few minutes to raise any special questions you have. And as I said, Minister and I or the team online would be more than happy to quickly respond to them. All right, who is going first? Who is taking the plunge?
Good evening, all protocols duly observed. My name is Kayode Momo, a Jamaican by descent. So I attended the Diasporan Conference last year, and during the conference they mentioned things around the investment opportunities, and I tried to apply for the national ID card. I was told to go online, but searching the website, I couldn't get any headway. So that was, so I abandoned it because it was a prerequisite to get registered to the National Housing Fund, which was something that I felt was important to do, in case I want to invest in housing there, but I couldn't get the national ID card. Then also in terms of passport application, my sister, her passport is not a house, so we all applied for the passport same time in 2021. Myself and my second sister, ours came out, but my other sister's passport did not come out. I raised the issue during the conference because there were like booths for PICA, and I was given an email address to send a passport, a digital copy of our passport photograph to it. Up till now, the passport is not out. And then also we followed up with the consulate in Abuja on it, but still no headway on that. I applied for citizenship for my kids October last year. Online, it said it was going to take about 6 weeks for their certificate to come out. We're in April 2023. There's no response on that. I've made a couple of calls to the office in Abuja, but we've not yet gotten any response. So basically, there's a lot of delays in applications. So I submitted in October. When I called in December, the documents were still in Abuja, just the way Antilona mentioned. So we need a lot of speed, in terms of response to applications. These things are not rocket science, so we don't expect that it should take forever for these things to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Duly noted. We'll take a few questions together and then we'll give you the responses. So, who else?
Good evening, High Commissioner and the Minister. I just want to add my voice to the last speakers. It has taken such a long time. It takes a very long time before we get attention to our passports. I applied for renewal in September last year, and we still haven't heard anything from the High Commission in Abuja or in Jamaica. Please, it's really very, very difficult, especially when I applied for citizenship for my children. They were required to send their original documents, and these original documents have been there since September, and we have had no reply. So please, is it that you have forgotten that Nigeria exists? It's taking much too long, sir. Even if it's not ready, there is no reply at all. We just submit the documents, and that's it. So please, I think you need to pay attention to that area. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can I take another one, and then we'll, maybe do them in threes. There's something called the power of three. So if we take a third one, then we will respond to those three and see how we get on.
All right, good evening. Senator, the Honorable Leslie Campbell, the Honorable Minister. It's nice to have you in Lagos. His Excellency Esmond Reed, it's good to see you again. I'm the third speaker, and I'm going to talk about the same thing, unfortunately. The only difference is that Kayode, I don't know why you're complaining. You had a great run. Kayode says he applied for something in 2020, and most of them have got it except one. And Auntie is talking about just last year, September. My goodness, you guys are really having a great time. I made an application in October of 2017. Yes, so it's 6 years in a few months. And I won't say any more than that. But truly, it does require some attention. It requires a little bit more. It's just sort of discouraging when everything that needs to be done has been done and not all the right results are gotten. Now, my story is not all bad. I'm not trying to castigate because most of our applications actually have been sorted out. It's just the last one that's taking extremely too long. So I'm sure we can, His Excellency knows me very well, and I'm sure that we will have times to have more discussions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. I am grateful for the questions that have been raised. And let me say, before I forget, that I will definitely go around the room to each one who has raised the question. I will take your details, and I will ensure that together with the team in Abuja, we will contact the colleagues back in Jamaica to ensure that we give you the quickest update and hopefully the solution to what the situation is. I can't tell you because I don't myself deal directly with these applications, but I know that there can be different reasons for the delays. We do the best we can with the resources we have to turn things around as quickly and in as timely a fashion as possible. But sometimes there are things which are outside of our control. But we are doing the best to accelerate the process. And we are in regular contact with the colleagues at PICA in Jamaica through our colleagues back in our headquarters in Jamaica, and we're doing the best we can. So I will definitely be taking note of your contact information and the nature, as you have highlighted. I've made a note here, but we will definitely seek to get the best responses back to you. I know Richard's highlighted his challenges. We have been in an ongoing dialogue, and it's sometimes there are situations that really come out of left field, which it's not easy to find an immediate answer, because when you have done all you think you can and there still emerges something totally unexpected, then, maybe it's a case of Murphy's Law. But we are doing the best to get you the solution that you deserve in the quickest time possible. I don't know if any of my colleagues, whether in Jamaica or at the mission in Abuja, if they have any more direct response to that. I see my colleague, Her Excellency Joan Thomas Edwards, on the screen. I don't know if not that she can help us with the situation here in Abuja, but she's coming fresh from Jamaica, and she might be able to add something to what I just said. So, who is going to take it? Is it you, Joan, or one of the colleagues in Abuja? Joan, you're the one we're... What happened there? I hope it's not NEPA. Oh, NEPA.
Okay. Right.
Oh, it sounded like my counselor.
I yield to High Commissioner Thomas Edwards.
Okay. So go ahead, please, Mr. Hibbert. That's Mr. Andre Hibbert, for those of you who might not know him. He is the new consul in the Jamaican High Commission in Abuja. And he is the one who deals directly with the consular matters that come to the High Commission. So, Andre, please, over to you.
Okay, pleasant good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be part of this event, and I am happy to be able to speak with you. Thanks, High Commissioner. I just want to greet and thank everyone for joining, whether in person or online as well. Yes, so as indicated by High Commissioner, our office is constantly seeking to improve our interaction and our support to our diaspora members across Nigeria, particularly the majority who is in Lagos. Yes, we're fully aware of some of the concerns in terms of the extended await for applications. I personally know what that feels like, being overseas and having to apply for a passport for travel. But as indicated, some of these are outside of our control. For example, we would not necessarily be able to send a passport, say the next week after receiving an application, because these are sent out in what is called a diplomatic bag or pouch. So when we accumulate a certain amount, that is when we'll be able to send off the packages with the applications to Kingston, to our immigration office. We support the applications by assisting to ensure that all the relevant details are in place, but that is one factor that can affect an application. Further to that, the inadequate provision of documents. So we try to ensure that all documents are in place before we send them off, because we wouldn't want to send them off and then we get requests for additional documents. So sometimes that can extend the time for processing. I'd like to also indicate that we, in addition to our constant communication with our immigration office speaker, which many of you will be familiar with, I think we seriously intend to have a session where you can interact with the speaker office, so you can have a further understanding of the process or some of the issues that could cause the delay. So we continue to reach out to you, and we welcome your questions, and we're always available for your inquiries. I've spoken with a number of you. Thanks for calling in, and we thank you for your understanding and your patience. But we are certainly, as indicated before, trying to assist and to get all your queries and outstanding applications through. So thank you, and I look forward to working with you and supporting our engagement with all our diaspora members in Nigeria, and of course, working with our other offices, with our missions across the continent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hibbert. And I just wanted to remind that for those who are in need of passport renewal, we have for a few years now introduced an online system. PICA has introduced an online system for passport renewal, which is very fast and very efficient, and we have been encouraging persons to use that as an avenue for renewal. Of course, as Mr. Hibbert highlighted, there are times when the application form might not be completed as well as it should, and that's where the value of routing it through the mission comes in, where, as he said, we can double check the information provided. Sometimes the photographs are not correct and things like that. So you have the option. If you have been renewing over time, you would have become more familiar with the process, and therefore you are less likely to make mistakes. But for someone who's renewing for the first time, then there are oftentimes challenges with the completion of the form, or just the provision of information. So always consult the mission in whichever direction you're going. And as I said, we are committed to trying to turn the things around as quickly as possible within the scope of our resources. All right. Any other question? Are there any questions coming online? Is anybody raising a hand? Not yet. Oh, I'm seeing a hand in the room. Please, can you let her have a microphone, please?
Hello. Okay. Good evening. All protocols observed. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be a guest of this evening. My name is Katharina Link. I'm the CEO of Pulse Media. We're an online news media across 6 markets in sub-Saharan Africa and the biggest news publisher, online news publisher in Nigeria. So my question is more coming from a Nigerian perspective. So what I would be curious about is I think we heard also a bit of I think, very ambitious and good plans to have more direct flights between Nigeria and Jamaica. Personally, I look forward to travel to Jamaica very soon. So what I'm wondering is, I think there are also a lot of ambitious Nigerians who would want to invest, do business with Jamaica. Are there any plans to make the visa application and process easier in future? Something like a visa on arrival also for Nigerians? Yeah, that would be my question. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'm still trying to work with my power of 3. If there's another.
High Commissioner.
Oh, yes. I have High Commissioner Thomas Edwards, my colleague in Pretoria. Please.
Good evening, High Commissioner. High Commissioner, other colleagues, Minister Campbell. I just want to add my voice to congratulate, first of all, the High Commissioner in Nigeria for having put on this event. We believe that engaging the diaspora is a very important part of our remit. And certainly here in Southern Africa, we have been, and I intend to, as the newly minted High Commissioner, on board to do the same in the Southern African region. In Southern Africa, we have the remit for 18 countries, Southern and East Africa. And like you're doing, High Commissioner, we intend to also have a regional meeting with our network of honorary consuls and the diaspora in general, because we recognize that Africa is the new frontier. I don't know how many of you are excited as I am. I was very excited to come back to the continent because I believe there's a lot happening here. And I believe, and as has been highlighted by the minister, we do have synergies that we have to exploit. So many times when we hear about Africa, especially in the diaspora outside of the African region, there's the view that, oh, it's far. But I believe, and as I'm hearing from what the questions that have been raised, there is more than an excitement, but there is a desire to have tangible engagements between the regions. The air transport is a very important thing because without connectivity, especially with a direct transport, there can't be greater levels of tourism, there can't be greater levels of trade. And if we really want to unite the regions, this is something we have to do. So I just wanted to say that it's something that we would love to even have replicated here in the southern region. I am heartened by what has been happening with the charters coming out of Nigeria and the excitement in terms of travel tourism. This is something that we would want to do even more in the Southern Africa region because, as I said, there's a lot of potential that can be exploited between the regions. So my comments are just to encourage everybody to get on board, businesses, everyone to really see Jamaica as a place to invest in and vice versa, that we encourage our Jamaicans to come to Africa because, as I said, it is the new frontier. So thank you very much, High Commissioner. Thank you very much, Minister. We expect to see you down in Southern Africa in a very short time. So look forward to that. Thank you. And thank you to my colleagues online who have organized all of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, High Commissioner Thomas Edwards. Welcome aboard again, and best wishes in your tenure. All right. Did I see another hand? Yes. Our colleague here in the front. Oh, all right. We'll definitely come to you after. I see.
Okay.
Mrs. Kalongo.
Thank you. It's not really a question. It's more a comment. I think I'll speak on behalf of the Jamaicans who are not in Abuja or Lagos, because I didn't grow up in Abuja or Lagos. I grew up in Port Harcourt. So I just want the High Commission to remember that there are Jamaicans in other parts of Nigeria. There was a vibrant community. There still is. The numbers are reducing now, but in Port Harcourt, where I grew up, there were lots of Jamaicans, and I'm from Calabar, which is in Cross River State. There are lots of Jamaicans there as well. So I'd like the High Commission to be a bit sensitive to Jamaicans in other parts of Nigeria and try to pull them in whatever the High Commission is doing. Even think of maybe visiting like Port Harcourt to interact with the Jamaicans there. In Nigeria, there are 3 main cities we kind of talk about: Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. I know recently I got an email talking about the High Commission thinking of appointing a consul, honorary consul to Lagos, and I thought, I wonder if it's if a country usually has just one honorary consul. Otherwise, would they think of an honorary consul from Port Harcourt, for instance? Just thinking Nigeria, 3 geopolitical zones, or 6, I'm sorry. So if you have 3 representatives, then each can cover 2 geopolitical zones. Just food for thought for the High Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I'll respond. But can we just take yours now, and then I'll quickly respond to those questions.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, good afternoon, Commissioner. It's a pleasure for me to be here tonight. My name is Cherise Ige. I'm a Jamaican, born and raised in Kingston. Went to Campion College. Now here in Nigeria, I'm the COO for Prudential Zenith. I work in the financial services, and I'm excited to be here. I've been here now for 1.5 years. Before that, I was in Ghana for 6 years. Before that, I was in the UK. So for somebody like me, who is very Jamaican, who is very interested in pushing the Jamaican agenda, in making Jamaica more known, and also interested in investments, opportunities, I always knew that Africa was the way forward. I'm glad everybody else is catching on, and that's why I'm here. So for me, like this lovely lady said, I was also wondering, what would somebody like me need to do to help in this agenda? Because I'm ready, I'm willing, I have energy, and I am for the cause. So help us, help you, and see what we can do to make this not just be a thought, but actually a reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate all of the questions that have been raised, and let me try to take them in order. The CEO of Pulse Media, the policy as it now stands is that both Jamaica and Nigeria require visas from each other. And so we have to provide the framework for making the process as easy and as seamless as possible. Now, I'm mindful that, there can be various reasons, various factors that can cause delays. Your specific reference was to the issue of visas on arrival. It is possible to have visas on arrival, but it still requires an application process. It's not like you can buy a ticket and just turn up and then get processed at the port of entry. You still have to make a submission. It's even more costly for such a visa. And there is still the risk that you could be denied because of various reasons, insufficient information or whatever other factors that the persons reviewing the application might have. So it is preferable, especially if you have a bit of time before you make your decision to travel, to apply in the normal fashion so that you can benefit from the examination and review of the process. As I said, if you have a mega urgent situation and you need to travel urgently, then you might wish to take the chance to apply for the visa on arrival, knowing, of course, the risk that it might not be granted. But it exists at a higher cost.
Thank you, High Commissioner Reid. Let me just, on that specific point, in relation to the visas, as we speak, there is a review, a comprehensive review of our visa portfolio. Not just Nigeria is involved. There are several countries which are involved, and that will take us a little while to have it done, but it is something which is under consideration. Last year, when Minister Onyama was in Jamaica, I had that discussion with him, and I did give him my undertaking that it would be looked at. So you can rest assured that you will have an outcome pretty soon.
Thank you so much, Minister. On the matter about the need to be mindful of Jamaicans in other parts of Nigeria, indeed, we are very, very much sensitive and aware of the presence of Jamaicans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. And we certainly want to be able to serve each and every Jamaican. We do not wish for anyone to feel left out. We have always advocated and encouraged Jamaicans to register with the High Commission so that and to update your information, because very often we get complaints that we don't hear from the High Commission. When we check, you have changed address, you have changed your email address, you have changed your telephone number, and we have been sending information and we have not had a response. So it's important not only to register, but to maintain and to update your records. This is very, very vital. Now, on the matter of reaching, of course, while it would be lovely to have an honorary consul in the 36 states in Nigeria, it is not possible on so many levels. As you highlighted, we are in the process of seeking to establish an honorary consulate in Lagos, which has the largest concentration of Jamaicans at the moment. Perhaps what could be done, but of course this is subject to consultation with the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is to see whether the jurisdiction of the individual who is appointed could extend beyond Lagos. We don't know. We will explore these things and see how that could be done. But certainly, as and when our fortunes expand, we would then be happy to establish a presence in all of the major centers. And wherever you travel across the length and breadth of Nigeria, you might be fortunate to see a Jamaican flag flying outside of a lovely, nice building, decorated with an honorary consulate logo. All right? So we are going to give full consideration to all of that. I heard your passionate plea for the opportunity to be more engaged, and we embrace that. We are going to take your details, and we will certainly want to exchange with you on. There are many, many opportunities. Jamaica is the best place you could ever want to embrace for investment, for tourism. I know Nigeria is bursting with creative talent, and there are so many opportunities for reciprocity on the Jamaican side, because we are also bursting with creative talent, with entrepreneurial spirit, and who better to do it with than our brothers and sisters here on the African continent. Of course, we spoke about the air connection. That is one of the major obstacles to having more business and professional engagement. If we had weekly flights, for example, you would see far, far more engagement, more Jamaican products on the shelves here in Nigeria, and vice versa, more artists from Nollywood coming and going, Jamaican models, Nigerian models. I mean, some of that is happening now, but it would, of course, be on a much bigger scale. So if you have ideas how we can unlock investment potential, how we can unlock willing partners who can bridge the divide that currently obtains, we are all ears, and we are more than willing to put you in contact with those who can then transform the opportunities on the ground. So thank you so much for raising that, and we'll be more than willing to engage. All right, I think if there is nothing else burning, we have been here a very long time, and I want to move to that next phase of what we are doing, that phase where we will eat and drink the best of Jamaican cuisine in Nigeria. And I certainly want to quickly get to that. But so let me therefore just thank, all of us who have made the effort to be here. I certainly want to thank our special guest of honor, Senator the Honorable Leslie Campbell, for joining us and for sharing so richly on developments in Jamaica. We're definitely looking forward to having you back on the continent time and time again. Of course, you just got another invitation from High Commissioner Thomas Edwards. So wherever and whenever, we will be happy to have you on board. I mean, there's so many persons that I need to thank. And please forgive me if I leave anyone out. I certainly don't intend to do that. So many people have been awesome in the support they have given towards making this evening possible. Again, I want to thank Mr. Ogunbanjo and the team here at the Wheat Baker Hotel. They have been awesome. They have definitely, please, a very, very, very big round of applause. We are very, very grateful for all the support they have given. And, we couldn't have done it without their involvement and their active support in so many ways. I certainly want to thank Mrs. Lorna Opanubi for the catering. As I said, we are coming to that immediately. She responded very readily to our request, and we are looking forward to the treats that she has. I want to thank Mr. Tunji and his team for the live streaming that we are benefiting from here, and ensuring that we could have this regional engagement in hybrid format. So thank you for that. I want to thank Mr. Green for the photography services, and I'm looking forward, photography and videography. I'm looking forward to the results. I hope you got my good side, or else you'll have to take the pictures all over. I want to thank Mrs. Aima Ladidru and her husband Femi Ladidru for their tremendous support. I don't hear any applause as I'm going through all these things. These are people who gave selflessly. We couldn't have done all the organization from Abuja. And Aima and Femi were there with us from the beginning, and they are still there with us. In fact, Aima apologized for not being able to be with us today, but she was a cornerstone in the organization of today's activities. And did I already thank Richard Balogun? Again, he's always a tower of strength whenever we say we are coming to Lagos to do things. He has always been able to provide transportation support, logistical support. You know, he's just a champion, as we would say. And so thank you so much, Richard, for making things possible. I want to thank the team from Nigerians Travel too. You heard the minister saying how he was able to navigate Balogun Market today. It was definitely with the help of the team from Nigerians Travel too, because if it was just me, boy, the minister would have had to take out a mortgage to pay for all the things that he would have wanted to buy. So thank you so much to NTT and your team. And thank you to everybody who in so many ways have contributed to the success of today. Thank you, and please continue to support the work that we are doing here in Nigeria and to strengthening the Jamaica-Nigeria relationship. Thank you, and God bless you, and best wishes to you, your families, and your associates. Thank you. So, on to the main event, the repast. All right, can we get some music, please, while it's being served? Music. Okay, well, you stay along. I am dying. But, boy, I can't come. Somebody can love me.
On the sky, burning in your eyes. You look at me and babe, I wanna catch on fire. Buried in my soul, like California gold. You found the light.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served. It is buffet style, and it is, as I said, the best of what Jamaica has to offer. So when you talk about rice and peas, curried goat, ackee and saltfish, jerk chicken, oh, let me stop. You should all be running to be first in line. Oh, you're doing things? Yes, yes, I'm going to give them. Or you want to do table by table? All right. Well, I thought I saw some people starting here. All right, so we'll do this table and work our way around. And I'm sure we'll finish very quickly. All right. So, how are you?
So when I'm all choked up, but I can't find the words. Every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this
Ladies and gentlemen, I omitted to ask, and I'm therefore. Oh, turn on that thing. I crave your indulgence for 2 seconds. I should have asked for you to join us for a group photo before we went to get the food. We would not want to miss the opportunity of having the photo with Senator Campbell. And so, if you could just quickly run in, even if you're coming with your jerk chicken in hand, it makes it even more authentic. Just quickly come. Let's take this family photo and run back. Please. I should have done so, but, you know, I'm not as young as I feel. Yes. You want me here? Thank you, Rachel.
Sometimes I believe, at times emotional. I can fly high, I can go low. Today I got a million, tomorrow I know. We're all playing the same game, all alone. Unknown and known, special and unknown. Hey, don't make it cautious, love. When you feel the cold, it's written in a stone. On the walls, this is our call. Rise and we fall. Listen in the moonlight. As I go. Sometimes I believe I'm emotional. I can fly high, I can go. Today I got a million, tomorrow. Hidden in a story. This is our call. We rise and we fall. Dancing in the moonlight.
Guess I'm on my way. Needed a friend in the way of it now. I guess that I'll. Guess I'm on my way. Stuck on you. Hear the food too long. I guess it's not too. Guess I'm on my way. So hard to see. Girl, a woman like you could wait around for a man like me. Yes, I'm on my way. I might be glad to stay. Oh, leave it alone and midnight train tomorrow. And I know just where I'm going. Pack up my troubles and I'm throwing all away. It's the thunder down. I'm coming home to stay. I'm stuck on you. Got this feeling down deep in my soul, I just can't lose. Yes, I'm on my way. Need a friend in the way now. I guess that I'll be with you tonight. Yes, I'm on my way. I might be glad to stay.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took a long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight. Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us